Hey folks, it's Bob out here at Sorrento Hill. It's been a few days since I've made a video and posted anything to YouTube. I was having phone troubles for a while there, and I couldn't get online or anything like that. Well, I fixed that by upgrading, taking advantage of the offers, and I upgraded from an iPhone 11 Pro Max to an iPhone 15 Pro Max. And hopefully this will come out okay, because I'm having to use the microphone on the phone, which doing some experimenting works a whole lot better than the iPhone 11 did, because all of the adapters that I have for microphones, because they all come with what they call a TRRS plug, a little 1/8" like stereo plug. But all my adapters are from that plug to Lightning connector for the iPhone. Well, the 15 doesn't have the Lightning connector. It's got USB-C. So none of my adapters will work. So none of my microphones will work with this phone until I get different adapters. Isn't technology great? So hopefully this comes out okay. If not, I apologize. You may have to turn your volume all the way up. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I thought I'd catch you up to date on what I'm doing and where I stand right now. Okay, right now I'm building cabinets. I'm going to try to get my cabinets all finished up before I move to the next project. This is going to be a wall cabinet, and I'm doing something different on this one. What I've done on most of my cabinets is I go ahead and put the sides and everything on, and then I paint it. But what I decided to do is I cut and fit on my side panels, and I've painted them. Don't worry, the reason I didn't bother painting all the way to the top there is because that's going to be where it gets glued on to the side. And my shelves, I've got them all painted. With the first coat, I need to put a second coat of paint on here. And then I think that'll be a lot easier way to do it. So at any rate, you know, by the time I get done with all these things, I'll be pretty good at this. So this is the face frame. I'll have to, once I've got everything assembled, I'll tape the painted part so I don't get stain on it, and then I'll stain the face frame, and then it'll be ready to go up. And I'll show you where that's going. I'm working on the kitchen. I've got this is the cabinet beside the door. It's only going to have, it's one door, and I'm getting a little slide out thing for that will hold two the short kitchen trash cans. So our trash won't be in a can that's sitting out on the floor. It'll be in that cabinet right by the door. So you just be able to it'll have a what looks like a door front, but it won't open and swing out. It'll be attached to the slide out, and you just grab it and pull it out, take your trash bag out, and boom, right out the door. And then the drawer here will have the trash bags in it. And then I've got the upper cabinet next to the door. You know, so I got the oak frame, the oak strip across the front of the plywood shelf. And then what I'm building right now is a cabinet that'll go right in this space right here. And it will butt up to that one, so it'll be a corner cabinet. And then the one I'm getting ready to start will go in this corner right here, and then there'll be a 37-inch opening for a fridge, which right now the fridge that we've got, we have a larger fridge, but it went out on us. It's about, oh goodness, 16, 17 years old, and it gave up the ghost on us. And we've got another second fridge, but it's only 30 inches, but I'll size in the space for a larger fridge in the future. Don't you like the way those bottles light up there? It's not all that sunny out, but boy, they've got a lot of brightness and a lot of color to them. And then once I get that last corner cabinet in, I've already got this cabinet mounted and screwed to the floor, screwed to the cabinet next to it. And then I'll be able to extend my countertop. And what we're going to do in the corner here, instead of having corner cabinets, the two cabinets are going to butt up against each other, just like right here. And then I'm going to put some 2x4 framing, and I'll put two 2x4s in the corner and some pieces across there. I'm sorry, I just realized that putting my finger in there causes it to go out of focus. And then, so that corner in there will be just counter space. And that's probably where we're gonna set up our coffee station or something like that. So Debbie does not really like the corner cabinets with the Lazy Susan because she's always knocking stuff off. And well, we all knock stuff off, but stuff falls down and then you got to try to dig it out, and it gets down there and it makes a Lazy Susan not want to turn and all that. So we're not putting one of those in, and that'll be just dead space inside there, no storage or anything, and then there'll just be counter on top of it. So that's what she wanted, that's what she gets. So that's what I'm working on now. And then I'm getting prepped to put my cement board on. I've got some cement board back here. Put the cement board on the counters. My my Menards rebate card came in, so I'll be going to pick up the tile so I can finish off these countertops, finish off that backsplash back there, and I'm gonna put about a 6-inch tall backsplash across the back there, and that'll all be tiled. And I'm not gonna bother putting backsplash up here because this will be like, we'll put the microwave there and basically just some counter space that we won't be having a lot of wet activities going on there. So I probably won't put a backsplash there because in part it'll cover up some of the bottles, because they just, the cabinet just clears the bottles. Don't mind the blue PEX. That's the line that comes up to for the water for the fridge, for the ice maker for the fridge, and I've just got it stuck in there so it didn't get in my way. And I've also got the plywood to go across the back here and get that finished up. Then once that's done, then I'll go to the bathroom and get the bathroom all finished up. And then it'll be time to get electric hooked up. So that's what I'm doing right now. And today I'm waiting for paint to dry so I can put the second coat on and then get this cabinet assembled and mounted. And I'll get back with you when I go to mount that cabinet. I'll let you watch this part a little bit. Watch me be crazy. What I've done is I've put me a mark up here where the top of the cabinet is and identified a few places that sticks out. This is the one right here that's keeping my cabinet from going in far enough. So, and I've identified a few other places that might cause me problems. So I'll just take this and take those down a little. Well, that thing's pretty mean. All right. Now, hoist that thing back up there and see how I did. How much more I got. still not going back far enough. It's better than it was. Where I need it to be. I didn't take it down quite enough. I got about 1/8 of an inch to go. Whew. Now I got a friend who posted pics on Facebook today. He lives up around, I think around Colorado Springs. Showed his patio, 14 inches of snow on his table and all this stuff, and still snowing. It's about 74, 75 degrees here. Working in a t-shirt, soaking wet, got sweat dripping off my nose. All right, here's my little stand that I use for mounting my wall cabinets. You can see it's just knocked together out of some rough 2x4s. These were some that were given to me. Even got bark on them. And I saved a few of these aside, and I use them for making little things like this to help me out. Because what I can do is I can then put this up on there, get it matched up, get it leveled out and everything, and with some shims and wood strips, and I'm not having to bear the weight, and it just makes life a whole lot easier. And then I just put these together with a few screws, so when I'm done with this, I can just take the screws out and I can use it to do something else. All right, well, let me get the cabinet up there and see how far off I am. All right, well, I've got it up there in place, but I got a little work to do. I'm gonna have to take it back down. My height isn't off too bad. You can see there, that's just, I make my stand a little bit shorter than I want, because then I can measure up and I can always put some little wood strips or shims under there. I bring that up, no problem. But the problem is, you see how the gap is different, because back here on the wall, about the middle of the cabinet, there's one of my logs. Instead of being flat, the face of it is tipped out a little bit, and that's just keeping that from going in. So what I'll have to do is take this cabinet back down, and I'll get my grinder, put the battery in my grinder, and I got this carbide carving disc, and I'll just use that to take that log down a little bit. I got a couple of them that, like I said, the top, the face of them, instead of being flat, it's got a little bit of an angle to it. And so they're sticking out just a hair. And this will do pretty quick work of it. Of course, I have to run the vacuum because it kicks up a lot of dust and particles. And then I can get that thing flat. Well, it's the next day. I didn't get the job done yesterday because excuse me, I still had some more, a few more places that I need to flatten out, and I was out of battery on my grinder. That grinder is a great tool, and I've got some of the 5 amp hour batteries, but it just chews through them. So I had to charge batteries up, and it was getting dark anyway, so I finished up today. Now, I think I told you, I make my stand a little bit shorter. That way I put shims on it. I've got it up and in place. Got most of the screws in. Got a couple more screws to put in. But I was going to show you what I'm using to hold these to the wall. These are a 5-inch GRK construction screw. They've got a higher shear rating and a higher clamping rating than just a regular screw. I wouldn't use, deck screws for this. These are a construction screw that's made out of a stronger material and has a real high shear rating, so you can put a lot of weight on it without bending or breaking the screws, which is something you need here. And I'm putting quite a few in here. I'll have like 15 screws in here by the time I'm done, and I've got just a couple more to put in, and then I'll be ready to move my stand out of the way. And this will be the last time I have to use this stand for hanging cabinets. I could take it apart and use it to make a jig for something else. And tell you, I'm so right-handed, it's terrible. And with these screws, the frame is 1.5 inches thick, so these screws have got another 3 to 3.5 inches, depending upon where the wood is, that's actually going into the wood behind this. Now, a few of the screws, instead of going into the wood, went into the mortar, and that'll hold it pretty well too. So that's done. And now I take my shims out. And I should, so we'll tighten it back, be able to just slide this out. Okay, that corner was a little bit high. Okay, so it's out of the way. Cabinet supporting itself. Now, I could, but I'm not going to. I could probably hang on this and it wouldn't move. And I've also got some little trim pieces that I've got to glue in. These go in front of a shelf, or in front of a shelf so you don't see the plywood edge, so that when you open the doors, that's what you see. You see the oak instead of the plywood when you open the doors up. So that'll look pretty nice. And as soon as I get these glued on, why, this cabinet is officially done and ready for doors. And I feel pretty good about that. All right, I've got wood cut for, most of the wood cut for the frame for the cabinet that goes down here. So I will assemble it, get it set in place and secured, and then it'll be time to build my little framework in here to support the counter extension. And I've got some 3/4 inch ply to finish out putting the countertop bases on, and then it'll be time to do my to do the cement board on top and get ready for tile. So pretty exciting. I priced buying, you know, if I had custom cabinets made for this, that would have cost me more thousands of dollars than I have. We were going to go with some unfinished, you know, pre-made unfinished cabinets from one of the big box stores. And even the ones with the particle board sides and back, those were pretty high dollar. It was going to cost us just to get the pre-made cabinets that I would, you know, unfinished cabinets that I'd have to finish up and put hardware on and everything to do here, was going to end up costing us in the area of around $3,000. And there had to been some workarounds to make everything fit the space the way we wanted to. Now, this way I was able to make cabinets like this particular cabinet here. As far as materials, what I've got into it is I've got a couple pieces of 3/4 inch ply for the shelf. I've got some 1/4-inch ply for the outside, and I've got, this one took 2.5 2x4s to make the frame. And 2x4s are down to less than $3 now. So I've got about $7 in 2x4s. This took, what, less than 1/4 of, or maybe 1/4 of a sheet of plywood. So that's about $11. So I'm at $18. This sheet here was $20. So, and it takes about 1/3 of a sheet for that. So 7. So I've got about, material wise, I've got about $20 in this. Of course, then you add screws and finish and paint and the like. And that's probably about $25 that I've got into materials for this. That includes my fasteners and the glue and everything. Of course, the oak is from trees that were cut down and milled on my own property, and I use my planer to get them down to thickness. So the oak didn't cost me anything except what it costs to run the saw, and of course my labor, which I work pretty cheap. So I got some nice oak, solid oak face frames, and the cabinets look pretty nice for a fraction of the cost of doing it, you know, of buying something already made. Yeah, it took some time, but you know, they look pretty nice in here, and that way too, they're just exactly what we want. Now, I know some people go higher in cabinets, and some people probably would have come down lower. One of my things that's just aggravating me every place we've ever lived is the bottoms of the upper cabinets were down so low that you didn't have, you know, it got into your workspace. And, you know, if you try to use a stand mixer, it's just a pain in the neck, and just makes me feel claustrophobic. So I had Debbie come out here and showed her where I was planning on putting them, put one on a stand and a mock-up to make sure she could reach okay, and she was happy with it. Anything up higher, and I could reach some stuff up here if it was up higher, but Debbie couldn't reach it at all, and she'd have to get out a step stool in order to get up there. Well, keep in mind that this is a house that we're going to be growing old in. We'll be in this house until they either put us in a retirement, in a nursing home, or put us in the ground. This is where we're going to stay. So since we're aging into this house and growing old here, I didn't want to build something that I have to climb up to get, because, you know, when you're 85, 90 years old, you really don't want to be getting up on a step stool to climb up to get stuff up there. So that's why they're the height they are. We could both reach. She can reach. That was an important consideration. So that's why they are how they are. Now, Debbie did put in a request. We've got a lot of decorative plates, things that people gave us, and things we bought at different places, especially when we were in the Army station in Germany. And so she's asked me to put a plate rail on the tops of these cabinets so she can display her plates. So I will have to build something like that. It won't be a problem because I can just screw it down into, I got some tape there. I can just screw it down into the frame on the outside here. That's one of the advantages I've got with these frames that I put in them is I could, if I want to add something like that on top, it's no problem. I got plenty of support for it. So, all right, it's up. Nobody got hurt. Nothing got broken. Not even my feelings got hurt too much. So it's pretty good. All right, like I said, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you taking a look at our videos, and glad that you're enjoying taking this journey with us. All right, thanks for stopping by. Don't be afraid to get out there and do something you've never done before. Might have to take a little creativity, like with my little stand for for holding these cabinets till I can get them leveled and get them mounted. But hey, you know, there's a lot of things you can do if you just put your mind to it and give it a shot. Again, this is Bob at Serenity Hill. Thanks for stopping by. We hope you guys have a great one, and we will see you on the next one. Bye now.